Sitting Bull from executive producer Leonardo DiCaprio, the History Channel's documentary event explores remarkable life and accomplishments of the fierce, brave Lakota chief. Today, I have actor Michael Spears, who plays Sitting Bull in this two-night event. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Hey, Matalo. I'm Washita. I'm good.
I
How are
like.
you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Michael, tell us about this two-night event and what can we expect?
Well, you're going to get to see this two-night event on the 27th and 28th, I believe, premiering here, and we are going to get to see Sitting Bull and his life and his navigating through this apocalyptic time that we live in.
You know, what's interesting when you talk about apocalyptic time, and I was watching this, I was comparing it to the Revolution, American Revolution with the British, and then, of course, the Civil Rights Movement in the 60s. Here's an indigenous people who've been living there for hundreds of years, and it was like their civil rights were just thrown out the window.
We're still living that today. These systems that were meant to genocide us. We all live on native land, and I guess this show is going to shed some light on some of the movements of the Lakota people throughout history, and what Sitting Bull and his people did. So the survivability of his lasting legacy is me. It's me, my family, and my people. We're still here. The Black Hills haven't been repatriated. We still live on reservations or internment camps. Still have to carry a card to prove who we are. But we as a people, we have a lot to be thankful for. That he gave his life ultimately so that we can have one.
Talk about this character, Sitting Bull. Tell us a little bit about him.
So I think Sitting Bull lived a pretty varied and an unusual life. There's many different interpretations of his character, his motivations. Um, some of his actions seem almost antithetical. He was both a staunch anti-assimilationist. He was a leader, very spiritually grounded, but even a performer in his own right in the Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. But he was respected, but ultimately killed by his own people. There's a lot of other Lakota leaders who are regarded as icons of diplomacy, ceremonial chiefs, or even holy men, as Sitting Bull was. But I think Sitting Bull's most lasting legacy as the leader of the last band of Lakota to surrender to the United States military, and as a supporter of the ceremonial resistance to colonization, and ultimately as a martyr, and the fire that still burns in the Lakota Nation to fight for tribal sovereignty.
What do you want the audience to take away from it? Because what I took away from it was just, you know where I'm coming from, Michael. It really hit a nerve with me and hit a chord with me looking at this and just saying it's just no one has civil
Well,
rights.
I think ultimately it's going to be awareness that we're living right now in a time of incredible political unrest and uncertainty. All of these changes that the government is doing is affecting everybody. Specifically Lakota people, we're always under the threat of being completely assimilated or wiped out. Even now, we're still having to fight for our rights, our sovereignty. The Black Hills is continually under threat for mining, gold. It's all still alive and well, all under the guise of colonialization and greed. You know, this show hopefully will bring some awareness and some change. As individuals of America, I think we all have a responsibility to tell the truth and you know, we all live here together, and ultimately, right now, you know, there's nobody giving any land back. There's nobody gonna say, "Here you go, man." This is our home. We were here. We're still here, still fighting, and I appreciate you. You know, as a relative, as a fellow human being, Wahoo Numpa, we say, the two-legged. You know, we're relatives. We're all relatives. You know, even the buffalo went through the Holocaust with us. So, you know, we're all connected. We're all relatives.
I like that. I like that a lot. Michael, before we go, I want you to say your Lakota name.
Uh,
I'm looking at Kul Wičaša.
Iktomi So Iktomi Tatranka Lemielo, Kul Wičaša Mata. I am Buffalo Spider from the Titua Sichangu Lakota Nation.
Michael Spears, thank you for joining us on Morning Blend. It has been a definite pleasure and an experience talking with you. And again, awareness watching these episodes for the 2 nights that are coming up on the 27th and the 28th. I'm going to make sure my audience does take a real good look at this because I did and I enjoyed it. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Doksha.
Say that again.
Doksha. We don't have a word for goodbye in Lakota. That just means we'll see you later.
Doksha. Is that right?
You got it.
All right. See you later, Michael.